live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday chat, coffee and chat with Sue. And today our topic is it's about engaging with our dogs more, how to get more engagement, how to get more connection with them, how to feel like we're more connected with them when we are engaging with them. Because sometimes our dogs tend to give us sort of the cold shoulder. They may, we may invite them to play or to engage with us in some activity, and they say, no, thanks, and they just turn around and walk away. Or perhaps they want to engage in a different way. Perhaps they get more really, jumpy and aroused and all excited. And you want, to be all quiet and calm, and you're trying to do a real relaxing activity with them, and they're jumping around. So it feels like you're on two opposite ends of the spectrum. And so today our chat is really just about how we can, some of my top tips about how to get that better engagement with our dogs, whatever we're choosing to do with them. So it could be that we're on a walk and they're, highly distracted by everything in the environment, and it's like you don't even exist, on the end of that. What other examples when we feel really disconnected? Yeah, when we try to talk to our dogs or ask them to do something, or you know um you know yeah, come here, do this, do that, or whatever, and they like just look at you as if to say no thanks and do something completely different. So it's, yeah, like I said, it's like two people on both ends of the leash, coming from a different place, and you just don't seem to connect. And so today I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned over the years, and I'm going to put them in the acronym of partner, PARTNER, partnering with our dogs, because I think this is really what it's all about. It's not about your dog and you and what you want your dog to do or how you want your dog to do it, but really about partnering with your dog in order to find the best way to find that connection, to find that sweet spot where you really feel like you've got a deep connection, like you've got a good understanding, and that your dog wants to be with you, and your dog wants to engage with you, and enjoys your company, as it were, really enjoys your company. So let's start off by thinking about when we decide we want to interact with our dogs. So that may be something like, oh, I feel like going for a walk, or I feel like doing a little training session, or I feel like giving my dog a massage, or I feel like, um, yeah, I don't know, engaging, doing a little activity, asking my dog to come along with me to go to the shops, whatever it is, whatever activity it is, it's generally initiated by ourselves. So we have a thought in our head and we say, I think I would like to do this right now. And we just go and do it. So we just go up to our dogs and, I don't know, put the collar and harness on and say, come on, we're going for a walk. Or we call them to us and say, come here, let's do this together. Let's engage, let's do something together. And so it's really always initiated, or 90% of the time, I would say, initiated by us, by ourselves. And we have a kind of preconceived idea already in our head of what we would like to do. So we just, yeah, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what we're going to do. And we go ahead and invite our dogs to join us. And so it could be one of the reasons why our dogs sort of say, well, no, thanks, not right now. I'm not into that. And that's because as I said, it's coming from us. We haven't really thought about if our dog wanted to do something with us, or if they're in the mood. Maybe they're sleeping, or maybe it's not a good time of the day, or maybe they're not feeling well, whatever it is. We often expect our dogs to just jump to the queue and jump to the party with us. And that's not always the case. And so for me, it's a bit of a mirror check. It's a reality check when our dogs sort of brush us off. It's not all about the dog. It's not about the dog doesn't want to engage. The dog doesn't feel like it. The dog doesn't whatever. Very often we need to turn that around and say, well, how did I approach the situation? Did I just, think about it from a human situation? Did you just barge into the room while somebody was busy reading a book, or doing something on their computer, barge in and say, "Hey, do you want to go and do this?" And they will like, "Well, hang on, yeah, maybe later, but not right now, thank you." So they weren't quite expecting that kind of invitation, engagement, or whatever. So sometimes we need to think about how we approach it, how we um, decide what we want to do and how we approach that with our dogs. So that's the first one. But let's go back to this acronym of partner and look at some of the words that relate to that. So starting off with P for present. So we want to be really present with our dogs. Again, when we approach them, it's not a case of walking in and stating what you want. It's walking in and having a presence that is inviting to your dog. So maybe looking at them, smiling at them, um, just nodding your head, just really fully being present with them before you just walk up and do something with them. Really just be mindful about your own presence, about how you're approaching your dog, with what kind of energy, with what kind of thoughts and emotions in your own body are you approaching your dog. So just be fully present with yourself and try to come into the situation being completely out of your head and into your heart. So really feeling inside what you're feeling, how you're feeling about it, and then walking into the situation or inviting your dog in that situation from a real state of presence. So maybe take a deep breath before you start, and that will help you to get more centered and grounded before you approach them or ask them to do something. The next one is A for attunement to our dogs. So again, we coming in with our own thoughts, emotions, feelings, and how we think we're going to do this. But I'd like you to invite you to come in and check in with your dog. How do you think your dog is feeling at that moment? Check in with their emotions and their mood, their whatever it is. Just come in and just check in with that before you even start to engage with them. Just see if you can attune yourself to what might my dog be thinking and feeling. How does this feel for me? When I nod or smile, does my dog sort of gently tap their tail, or do they look at me as if to say, "Well, what do you want?" Just tune into how your dog might be feeling about that, and see if you can really attune to their emotion, of how they might be, if they feel approachable or not, or what it is that they might be feeling. The next one is R, resonate. So resonate with it. As I say, once you've tapped in, well, my dog is feeling very melancholy or something. If my dog is feeling very um, calm and relaxed right now, or my dog is pretty tense right now, just tap into that. What did that feel like for you? If you're feeling tense and a little bit unsure of the situation, are you feeling a little bit, what does that feel like for you? If you think that's what your dog feels like, just try and resonate with that feeling for a while, because then we're meeting them where they are at. We're not just coming in from up here or down here. Meeting them where they're at. And that's where that attunement lies. And that's where that connection can be made, is when we attuned and resonating with where they at, their energy level. And from there, we can then move into that. Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? How about this? How does this feel for you if you want to massage or touch or anything? So resonate. T is for trust. So there's got to be a sense of trust there between you in order for your dog to engage. So again, if we're just barging in and saying, right, put the harness on, we're going for a walk, there's no trust there, because the dog hasn't had a choice. They haven't been asked if they even want to do this activity. It's kind of just been forced upon them. And so they go along with it, but there's no trust there. So remember to be, this is about building trust. Every little interaction you have with your dog is an opportunity to build some kind of trust with them, to develop that connection and that trust together. The next one is needs. So meeting each other's needs. So again, if we have an idea of what we would like to do, because we want to get out and walk now because we feel like some physical exercise, it meets our needs, but does it meet our dog's needs in that particular moment or time, or activity that you've chosen? So perhaps we could get out into nature and go for a walk, but it might be a really slow, relaxed walk where we could sit on a bench together and listen to the birds singing and take in a bit of nature's lovely energy, as opposed to, come on, we've got 15 minutes, let's go for a walk. So think about meeting each other again, where your needs are, what your dog needs, what you need, and try and bring it to a level where you can meet each other, where you're both at. E is for engaged. So again, we want to be really engaged. We want to watch that feedback. So if I, put my hand out to stroke my dog and my dog ducks their head, that's a clear no, thank you, or don't touch me on the head, because we very often do that, touch our dogs on the head when they don't particularly like it. So, being mindful of, if I'm reaching out and engaging with you, um, in what way do you like that engagement? In what way is that meaningful for you? In what ways does that feel good for you? So keeping in that dialogue loop, and that comes to our last one, which is R, responsive. So responsive to each other's communication. So just, keep adjusting. So my dog ducks his head, so I remove my hand and say, okay, that doesn't feel comfortable. What about if I touch you on the shoulder? How does that feel? What's your dog's body language? Yes, that feels nice. Thank you. You can see your dog lighten up. You can see their ears prick up, or their face gets softer, and they say, "Oh, yes, that's nice." So just stay in that dialogue loop. Keep that communication flowing between you. It's a flow of energy and information. That's what you're doing. You're just keeping that relationship going by watching that flow of energy and information continuously going, and you are continuously adjusting as needed. Because when we can do all of these things, this presence, attunement, resonating with our dogs, having that trust between them and us, that meeting our needs, feeling engaged, and we're responsive to each other's communication, when we're really partnering with our dogs, they get it. They feel like they are finally heard, understood, felt, and they're being communicated with as another sentient being, not just as the dog, not just as our sweetie, four-legged, fluffy, cuddly, fun pet. This is another being we are connecting with. This is a really this is a relationship you have, and just like a human relationship, you want to really work on it from that level. From really being mindful of your own presence, of what your own wishes are, and what that other person is, and finding that synergy, finding that energy flow and that connection together. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you can use some of these things today and put into practice what engaging with your dog in a different way, and see how they respond. See if their response is any different if you try some of these things when you're engaging, or when you're asking them to engage with you in some activity. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I wish you both, you and your dogs, a lovely, lovely day. And it would be great to hear from you. So post in the comments if you have any questions, or if you would like to chat. I've opened up my calendar for June and July to have one-to-one chats with anybody who wants to, free of charge. I would just love to get to know the people who sit on the other side of the screen. I would love to get to know you better, and see if I can help in any way. So please reach out if you'd like to just have a chat. Tell me about your dog. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your story. How you got to be where you are today, and why you're listening to this episode in particular. So everyone, have a great day. See you soon. See you next week. Bye-bye.